morning/afternoon, everybody. My name is Steven with the State Police,
And my name's Jojo with the Sheriff's Department.
and today we're here to present part 2 of the training required for you to become deputy or LEO, depending on your department, of course. At the end of this training video, we highly suggest that you begin ride-alongs immediately and ask your sponsor or mentor to allow you to take the lead and really practice your order of operations and what you've learned. Let's talk about going on duty. Going on duty each day at Mayfair may change as scripts or menus are updated. When you are promoted to deputy or LEO, you will be given access to our cop menu, which is F5. F5 will give you the ability to search and remove items from suspects, which it's important to note that /me is still required in roleplay. F5 will also give you the ability to cuff, drag, and place persons into vehicles during your investigations. The F5 menu has a form that must be filled out. To have permissions added, it is pinned in the announcements. If you can't find it, PM a corporal and wait for a response. There's also a link to it on our website, and a link to our website will be posted in the description of the video. If you're a deputy or LEO and you do not have access to F5, be patient as it could take a few days. If by 48 hours after promotion you still don't have access to the menu, follow chain of command and escalate the issue. As a cadet, you will go to the station, adorn uniform, and make sure you have your weapons squared away and prepared for duty. At this point, you're ready to go on patrol. Take a quick look at RTO and find a deputy or LEO or hire to ride along with. In the event you do not find someone to ride along with, if during prime time hours, you must change your uniform and call sign to Delta and use the assigned Delta SUV. Remember, no rank can refuse you. As soon as you find someone, meet them, change uniforms, and go on patrol. In the event you do not find someone during happy hours, change your uniform and call sign to Delta, and then use any vehicle you want. Of course, that's not an upper division vehicle or a supportive vehicle. Once you're out there, remember, to see 911 blips, you must use the following command. Get in the habit of using this command when you put your uniform on. The command is /dispatch space Mayfair. Once you're in your car, enable your radar by pressing delete on your keyboard. Not backspace, but delete on your keyboard. And then select toggle radar /ALPR and press enter. You should continue to monitor 911 blips. If you want to respond to a call that you see come across, simply type something like this: /DIS for dispatch, responding to location, and then tell them what code you're in. So putting it all together, /DIS, responding to Alhambra Drive, code 3. The different codes correspond to how you're responding, code 1 being silent, code 2 being lights only, and code 3 being lights and sirens. When you're responding to a call, it's important to chirp your horn when crossing intersections or blowing through stop signs. We expect you to slow down and show caution when passing these intersections or stop signs, unless you are chasing a suspect. Now that you're on duty, let's go over how to initiate traffic stops in detail. And before we begin, let's go to a couple of common items between both departments out of the way. For example, both departments use a passenger side approach. To do this, we begin by exiting your vehicle and walking around the backside of your car, then continue your approach from the passenger side, stopping at the passenger window of the suspect vehicle. We also have assigned support officer positions. The first support position is in the front of the patrol car by the left turn signal. The second support position is only used if the suspect is being extracted, and it is by the left rear tire of the suspect vehicle. Transport officers will always use the first support position when arriving on scene. And remember, as the primary officer, make sure you update the support officer as soon as you can with what's transpired up to this point, and inform them of your next actions. We use our takedowns and brights when on a stop, always. We pull to the front of commercial vehicles when the driver or passenger's views are obstructed, always. We immediately radio for backup if we see a 2-to-1 or greater odds. As SCDPS, we never engage in gotcha games. As MCSD, you are allowed to engage in gotcha games When we say gotcha games, this is an example. Do you know how fast you are going? If the suspect answers they are admitting to a crime, got him, gotcha. That's what we mean by gotcha games. Another example, do you know why I stopped you? And the suspect replies, you stopped me because I blew through a red light, I was speeding, I've been smoking marijuana all day, and you can probably smell it. Gotcha. Got him. Remember, as SCDPS, we do not engage in gotcha games. As MCSD, you can choose to if you want to, but I do not advocate it. I prefer being professional at all times. It's also important to mention, if at any time during your investigation you see a firearm, you immediately command the suspect to put their hands up and or keep them on the steering wheel, and repeat this command. Do not move your hands. Keep them blah 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 attached to the steering wheel. Keep them up. And then it's important to tell them if they move their hands or if they attempt to exit the vehicle in any way that they will be shot. Repeat these phrases, and then make sure you also radio for backup as soon as you can after communicating your expectations to the individual. Once backup arrives, remove the threat, which in this case has been identified as a weapon, and then resume the traffic stop. Let's begin now with the 7 points of contact. On your screen is going to be a list of the 7 points of contact. We're going to go down the list and slowly put everything together at the end. From greeting to goodbye, the 7 steps, attempts to keep you safe during your investigations. Point number 1 is greeting and identification. You can say something as simple as, my name is Steven with the State Police, or my name is JoJo with Mayfair County Sheriff's Department. Number 2 is your stop because, and there are typically 3 lines you can mix up a little bit. Your stop because you ran a stop sign. There are follow-up questions you can ask. Where are you coming from? Or where are you headed to? You can ask one or both of these, and you can ask them before you tell them why they were stopped or after. It doesn't matter. So here are some examples. You were stopped because you ran a stop sign. Where are you coming from? I need to see your license, registration, and insurance information. Where are you coming from? Okay. Well, you were stopped because you ran a stop sign back there. Where are you heading to? See, you can mix these things up, transitioning from point of contact number 1, greeting and identification, to point number 2, you were stopped because. You can mix these up a little bit. You don't have to always sound the same and be a robot. Number 3, this is the identification of driver and the check of conditions of violator and vehicle. So this is what this means. You're going to look at the ID in your hand, and you're going to have them spell their full name. This is something you can type in /me. Looking at ID in hand, spell your name. Once you have their name, run their name in the MDT. MDT means Mobile Data Terminal, or the CAD. If the person doesn't exist, you may charge them with obstruction. Remember, lying to a police officer, as you found out in training part 1, is a felony. Review the conditions of the vehicle. Check for bullet holes, blown tires, windshields that are blown out, and use your /me to see if you smell or see any drugs in the vehicle. Number 4, statement of action. Basically, you just tell them what you're going to do. You stay here. I'm going to go back to my vehicle and run this last piece of information. I'll go ahead and write your citations, and I'll try to get you out of here as soon as possible. This is something, as an example, you could say in roleplay as a statement of action. It's important to note that you should communicate everything that you're going to do before you do it. That way they have an expectation of what's to follow. Number 5, action taken. This is simple. You just do the things you outlined in number 4. If you said you were going to go back to your car and run their information and write them tickets, then do that. Number 6, explain all the things. For example, This is a citation or a warning for running your stop sign. If there is a fine, it must be paid on or before the date listed below. There is no signature required in South Carolina. If you have any questions, call the number on the back of the citation. These are examples of things you can say. Number 7, leaving. Hand them back all of their information, give them their tickets, etc., and explain when it's safe to leave. You never know what's going to happen during your traffic stop, so keep your wits about you and always be situationally aware. Be sure to practice these 7 points of contact in-game. Remember, it's difficult to master, so be patient, break things down into small sections, and put them together slowly over time. Be sure to frequently check the SCDPS and MCSD RTO channel for updates to RTO policies. As of today, in the making of this video, the RTO style has reverted back to the former MCSD style RTO and is now a more serious RTO channel. The rules as listed right now are: you must always have an account or tab in general at all times, even if you're in a team room. The only exception is if you're in a scene that requires you to be in a TAC group channel. You may mute general, but never deafen. General is not a social channel. Never relay 600 or dispatcher information over general. Never hot mic over general. Never speak over someone in general. Use break and end. Never transmit non-essential information over general. Examples of non-essential information are: keep RTO, update my location to shots fired. These are all examples of non-essential communication. When communicating, be concise. Examples are: need transport to street, street. Need backup code 3 to Joshua and Alhambra. Need EMS code 3 to Joshua and Alhambra. Radio check. And the response should be loud and clear. If you are fired upon, you should relay info based on this example. Break, signal 100. Street, street. End. You must always say break to initiate your emergency, and you must always say end when you're done transmitting. Break, signal 100, Fleeca Bank, Vespucci. End. This would signify all available units to respond to that location, as signal 100 means priority call. Patrol teams are a social channel. There are no RTO rules in patrol team channels. Each team can contain a maximum of 1 patrol unit and 1 transport unit. Each unit may have a Delta or Cadet with them as a ride-along. If you wish to ride along with a friend and they are not a Delta or a Cadet, you must ask a Lieutenant Colonel or Undersheriff or higher for permission. If you've made it this far, it's time for you to let a supervisor know that you're ready for an evaluation, if you can remember everything that I just told you. So remember guys, if you're going for LEO, you have to maintain 70% of what I just told you, and this is doing this in game. So you'll be evaluated on your radio etiquette, on how you position your vehicle, on your usage of your lights, which they should be very bright and always on. You're going to be judged on how you approach the vehicle, if you know where the tandem rider position stand is. You'll be evaluated on how you extract people out of the vehicle. You'll be lectured or taught better if you make some kind of mistake in that. And this is any and all roleplay scenarios. This can be commercial vehicle stops, stolen vehicles, vehicles unregistered, person gets violent. You can respond to any kind of call, and you have to be able to roleplay that call out properly. So if you have any questions on training, or if you want some kind of personal individualized training, talk to a corporal and see if they can schedule that. Alright guys and gals, that's going to be it for this training video. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments, or you want to have some kind of personalized training, be sure to reach out to a corporal or a sergeant. And as always, we will see you on the patrol. Stay safe.